Do you find that you sometimes react emotionally? Do you find that you get triggered, you get feelings arising, perhaps heat, anger, rage? Sometimes when people say certain things, perhaps it gets under your skin and makes you feel a strong emotion. Do you find that you get that emotional reaction? My name's Amywebb. I'm a transformational mentor and I teach ambitious women how to overcome and transform anxiety and to do it in a way that helps them to express themselves vulnerably so that they can feel more confident, more whole, and more complete within themselves. Subscribe to this channel now so that you get notified of new videos as they come out, and let's dive straight into it. One of the most powerful things you can do when you're having any kind of reaction within yourself is to first admit to yourself that you're having the reaction. It sounds quite simple, but there's something that clicks and changes within your system when you come to a space of meeting what's happening head on without pretending like it's not happening. It's really common for us to deny what's actually taking place within us. And so one of the first things that I teach my clients is to express what it is that they're feeling or what it is that they're doing in the moment that it's happening, because that shines a light on the experience, which helps it to shift almost instantly. It's really common that this comes up when we're resisting. So emotional reaction is generally we're feeling quite defensive. We're pushing energy away. We're pushing people away. We're pushing life away. We're feeling like we're guarded, we're wanting to protect, we're wanting to hold ourselves back, and therefore we create this trigger, this feeling of a reaction that brings us into a defensiveness. So to bring the guard down, to lower the defenses, we have to first admit to ourselves what it is that we're doing, what it is that we're noticing, what it is that we're aware of. And so what you would do in this moment of that reaction is just kind of giggle to yourself and say, I'm reacting right now. I am reacting right now. I feel this reaction, and actually speak it out loud. At first, you might feel uncomfortable speaking it out loud, so you could just say it internally, say it in your mind. I'm reacting right now. I am reacting right now. And just see what happens. Generally, what happens when we're experiencing resistance or a reaction of some kind, which is also just resistance, is when we come to that place of admitting it and accepting it, there will be a deeper emotion that kind of presents itself. It's like it bubbles up from within. So the second step is to put your hand on your heart once you've admitted to the reaction that you feel. Put your hand on your lower belly and take a deep breath. So breathing in through your nose and out of your mouth. And just feel what arises when you say, I am reacting right now. Feel what comes up. You might feel sadness, you might feel a tension, you might feel a frustration with yourself. And I just want you to keep breathing as the emotion bubbles up, because the only way to move through the emotional reaction is to notice and give yourself space to release the emotion that exists underneath that reaction. We only ever get defensive when it's triggering something deeper within us, deeper in our subconscious, deeper in our body, deeper in our heart. So say, for example, a work colleague says something that really upsets you and it makes your blood boil and it's starting to bubble over and you're wanting to kind of swear at that person, yell at that person, walk away from that person, quit the job, whatever comes through. In that moment, you could just whisper to yourself, stepping away from that experience and just whispering to yourself and saying, I am reacting right now. I'm reacting. Taking a breath, putting your hand on your body, because that will help you to drop back into your body, out of your head, moving back into your body and just feeling as you repeat, I am reacting. This is a reaction. This is a reaction. And just notice what happens as you give yourself permission to reconnect with your body. I'd love to hear in the comments if this is resonating for you. Do you find that you do find emotional reaction comes up quite often? What do you do about it? Do you have techniques? Do you have ways that you move through it? Let's start a conversation in the links below. And so the final step is really about giving yourself permission to ask the deeper question and really being present with yourself with that. So the second step, your hands are on your body, you're breathing, and you're starting to feel another emotion arising from deeper within, maybe down in your gut, in your belly, and maybe your stomach starts to feel a little bit nauseous. Maybe there's something going on deeper inside. You might get hot, you might get tingly. There could be things that will happen. So in that space, the question that I'd like you to ask is, what am I really feeling? What am I really feeling right now? Just that question alone, even if you don't get an answer right away, is going to give you permission, to give the deeper parts of you permission, to give the inner child within you permission to express what she is feeling, to express what's deeper down inside. So let's use the example of the work colleague. You've come back to your desk, you've moved away from the situation, you've admitted the reaction, you're feeling connected to your body as you breathe, and you're asking yourself now, what am I really feeling? And perhaps that work colleague has supported a situation where you can actually start to connect with something that's been bothering you for a while. Maybe you feel hurt, maybe you feel judged, maybe you feel like you don't belong, maybe you feel some fear. Maybe it's actually not related to him at all, and it's related to something that happened last week. Maybe you just feel unexplained sadness and you just need to be with that. And so you would put your hands on your body and just let the space open up from within you. Of course, if you're at work, sometimes this can be difficult, right? We don't necessarily have the space to just let the emotions unleash, but just that moment of contemplation. What am I feeling in this moment? You could just write it down and you could pick it back up when you leave work. You know, it's just about starting to get into a place where you can support yourself to have permission to validate the deeper emotions you're feeling, because as they come up and out of you, you'll feel lighter, you'll feel more free. You might experience, if you go through these steps in your own space, using this video as a resource, you might experience some emotional release, and that's beautiful. That's perfect, and that's really normal. There's nothing wrong with emotions coming out. There's nothing wrong with tears falling when you give yourself permission to actually feel them. It's actually beautiful, it's very cathartic, and it's healing. And so I invite you to allow that to happen if it happens, and to know that you've done an amazing thing for yourself by staying present long enough to actually feel what's beneath the reaction. And finally, what you'll notice is if you follow this through step by step and you allow the emotion to come through, you'll notice that afterwards, perhaps the reaction is a little bit less strong. Perhaps it's gone altogether. Perhaps it's opened up a whole new doorway for you to understand a deeper insight within yourself. There's so much beauty and importance in acknowledging the deeper emotions so that they can be unlodged out of your system, so that you don't have to feel so stuck. So if you think of your life and all of the triggers and reactions that take place as lessons, as nuggets of gold, as opportunities to release yourself of what's in the way of you feeling good, things really start to shift. Every person you meet, every interaction you have, every conversation you have is an opportunity to get to know yourself more deeply. As you release the defensiveness, as you release the feelings of the reaction, you'll get to know what you really need. You'll get to know what's deeper down within you, and that will set you free. If you're looking for a resource to help you to release and overcome anxiety, I have a free meditation in the links below called Unlock Your Heart. And I also have a free training that will help to really empower you to start the process of releasing anxiety and uncomfortable emotion. Both of those are in the links below. Remember to subscribe to this channel to get notified of new videos every week, and hit the bell as well. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.